Have you ever felt that there is a secret to life's mastery, a path where struggle gives way to a powerful, effortless flow? What if this secret was not something to be conquered, but a remembrance of a primordial alignment? In the next few minutes, we will unveil the alignment protocol, not as a set of rules, but as an awakening to the wisdom encoded within your very being, using the 4 universal keys to unlock grace in your journey. How different would your life be if you could achieve your goals with grace and ease? We all know the feeling of struggling against the current, don't we? That relentless pressure to force outcomes in our work, our relationships, even on our spiritual path. It's like trying to sail against a powerful wind, using only the strength of our arms, leaving us exhausted and often frustrated. We live in a culture that frequently glorifies hard work, to the point where we equate excessive effort with merit, even when the results are scarce or come at the cost of our inner peace. So, the question arises, and perhaps you've asked it yourself, why, despite our best intentions and strenuous efforts, do we often feel blocked, as if something is fundamentally misaligned? The resistance we feel externally is so often a mirror, a reflection of an inner dissonance. Have you ever noticed that sometimes, the more you try to force something, the more elusive it becomes, like trying to grasp smoke with your hands? Psychologists observe that chronic stress, often born from this forced effort, actually impairs our cognitive and creative functions. It makes finding solutions, and indeed finding our way, more difficult. Your nervous system, you see, yearns for harmony, not the constant combat that brute force imposes. And it is not a new idea. Masters of diverse ancient traditions have long reminded us. Excessive effort on the wrong path only deepens the labyrinth of difficulty. They understood that true strength resides not in tension, but in attunement with the subtle currents of existence. The universe, and indeed your own biology, do not respond primarily to your struggle. They respond to your resonance, to your state of being. So, what is this alignment we speak of? It is more than just positive thinking. Imagine it as a state of profound inner coherence, where your thoughts, your emotions, your physical energy, and your spiritual connection all vibrate in harmony. Picture a celestial musical instrument. Alignment is when every string vibrates at its perfect note, creating a symphony that is your life. Consider the flight of a majestic eagle. It doesn't battle the wind. Instead, it uses the air currents, subtly adjusting its wings to glide with grace and power, covering vast distances with minimal effort. This is alignment. Disalignment, then, is like a bird caught in a storm, flapping its wings frantically, yet making little headway. This state of alignment is, in truth, our natural state. The misalignments, the inner conflicts, the feeling of being fragmented, these are often learned, accumulated over time. Ancient wisdom traditions have long pointed to this. The Taoist concept of Wu Wei, for example, speaks of acting without striving, a kind of effortless action that accomplishes all things. And in modern psychology, we find echoes of this in the state of flow, where one is so immersed and aligned with an activity that time seems to disappear and peak performance arises without conscious strain. This too is the eagle in full flight. Think of a skilled artisan. After many frustrated attempts to force a complex piece into existence, they step away. Perhaps they calm their mind, observe the patterns in nature. Upon returning, their hands move with an intuitive precision, and the masterpiece emerges, almost as if by itself. The artisan didn't try harder. They realigned with their inner wisdom and with the material itself. But how, you might ask, can we learn to read these invisible currents and adjust our own inner wings, especially when life feels so turbulent? Well, the ancient cartographers of consciousness meticulously mapped this inner territory. They identified 4 fundamental pillars, 4 primordial energies that, when understood and harmonized, form the very foundation of your effortless power. Are you ready to explore the sacred architecture of your being? Are you ready to discover the inner design that, once understood and nurtured, naturally unlocks this power to soar? Our journey into alignment begins by recognizing our own intricate design. We are not monolithic beings, but a beautiful interplay of 4 interconnected layers, 4 essential bodies of consciousness. Understanding these is paramount to achieving true alignment. First, there is your physical body, our anchor in this earthly realm, governed by the element of earth. It is your bones, your muscles, your senses, your overall health. This body communicates its state of alignment or clarity, vitality, boundless energy, a sense of deep relaxation. These are the hallmarks of physical alignment. Conversely, chronic tension, persistent pain, fatigue, or illness often signal a deeper imbalance, a cry from your physical self for attention and care. Your physical body is the sacred ground where your spirit can flourish. To neglect it is to attempt cultivating a garden in barren soil. Next, we encounter the emotional body, a realm of fluidity and feeling, akin to the element of water. This is where your emotions, moods, intuition, and the energetic quality of your relationships reside. It's your capacity to feel deeply and to allow emotions to move through you. Alignment in this body manifests as emotional resilience, empathy, a natural sense of joy, and an ability to navigate your feelings with grace. Disalignment, however, can lead to repressed emotions, a state of reactivity or emotional stagnation, much like still water that becomes unhealthy. Your emotions are energy in motion. When aligned and flowing, they are a powerful guidance system and a magnet for your experiences, the very current that can nourish your soul. You might already sense their interplay. Perhaps you've noticed how mental stress, a concern of another body, can create tangible tension in your shoulders, or how an unexpressed emotion, a stirring in your emotional body, can sometimes manifest as an inexplicable physical ache. The symphony of your being is always playing, and each instrument affects the others. As we continue to explore our fourfold nature, we turn to the more subtle, yet profoundly influential aspects of our being. While earth anchors us and water moves us emotionally, 2 other vital forces govern our perception and our connection to the infinite. Consider your mental body, the domain of thought, belief, and intellect, resonating with the dynamic element of fire. This is where your perceptions are shaped, where your beliefs about yourself and the world take root, and where the patterns of your mind are forged. When this body is aligned, you experience mental clarity, a natural focus, an openness to new ideas, and a wellspring of creativity. Disalignment here, however, manifests as mental fog, incessant rumination, the heavy chains of limiting beliefs, or a mind that races without rest. Your mind is the very forge where your perceived reality is shaped. Thoughts aligned with your highest good are the fire that illuminates and transforms. Misaligned thoughts, the flame that can consume. Finally, we arrive at the spiritual body, which corresponds to the boundless element of air. This is your connection to something larger than your individual self, your sense of purpose, your deepest meaning, the whisper of your soul or higher essence, your most profound intuition, and your communion with Source, with the universe itself. It is the subtle intelligence that permeates all, the silent breath of the divine weaving reality through you. Alignment in this body brings a profound sense of purpose, an unshakable inner peace, the joyful recognition of synchronicity, and a deep-seated faith in life. Disalignment, conversely, can lead to feelings of emptiness, a painful sense of separation, a lack of meaning, or an existential loneliness. This spiritual body is the gentle breeze that fills your sails, the why that lends direction to your entire journey. Imagine your whole being as a multifaceted diamond with these 4 primary faces. Each face must be clear and polished for your inner light to shine forth in its full, unhindered brilliance. If even one facet is clouded or cracked, the overall radiance is diminished. The journey of alignment is this gentle, conscious polishing of each essential aspect of who you are. Now that we recognize these 4 essential dimensions of ourselves, how can we actively nurture them and polish them with the fundamental energies that shape our very existence? Understanding our 4 bodies becomes even more potent when we see their intimate dance with the 4 great elements: earth, water, fire, and air. Each body resonates with the qualities of its corresponding element, and this understanding provides a profound key to diagnosing imbalances and inviting harmony. Are you feeling scattered, ungrounded, perhaps a little lost in the clouds of thought? This often signals a need to connect more deeply with the earth element, to nourish your physical body, to find your footing. Are your emotions feeling overwhelming, perhaps turbulent or stagnant? Learning to navigate the water element within your emotional body can bring flow and clarity. Is your mind hyperactive, burning with anxious thoughts, or conversely, lacking in motivation? This points to a need to balance the fire element of your mental body, perhaps tempering it with the calm of water or the structure of earth. Do you feel a lack of inspiration, a disconnection from purpose? Inviting the expansive qualities of air can reignite your spiritual body. This elemental dance also illuminates 4 primary centers of manifestation within us, vortices of energy where these bodies and elements converge, creating our experience of reality. You might recognize these as vital energy centers, known in ancient traditions as chakras. At the base of your spine lies the root center, your connection to earth and your physical body. It governs your sense of safety, security, and your ability to manifest in the material world. When it's misaligned, you might feel that sensation of quicksand under your feet, an underlying anxiety that whispers, "It's not safe." But when aligned, you feel the calm confidence of a mountain, the certainty that you belong and possess the power to build. Moving to your heart, we find the emotional center, resonating with water and your emotional body. This is the wellspring of love, compassion, connection, and the magnetic flow of attraction. Disalignment here can keep you caught in cycles of pain or fear. But when open and aligned, it effortlessly draws in synchronicity, love, and aligned opportunities. Between your eyebrows, the third eye center, the domain of fire and your mental body, opens the gateway to vision, intuition, and spiritual perception. When misaligned, you may feel confused or lack direction, but when clear and aligned, it becomes your unerring inner compass, where thought transforms into focused direction. And finally, at the crown of your head, the crown center, aligned with air and your spiritual body, is your gateway to source, to universal consciousness. When closed or misaligned, you may feel separate, searching, or confused. But when open, you realize you were never truly apart from the infinite. You remember that the universe is not just around you, but also within you. The unimpeded flow of energy through these centers, when they are open and harmonized, is absolutely crucial for experiencing that effortless flow we seek. Take a moment now, if you will. In which of these bodies, or these centers, do you feel your energy flows most freely? And where, perhaps, do you perceive a sense of constriction, a place inviting your gentle attention? Now, how do we actively navigate this inner landscape and cultivate this profound alignment? Here, we reintroduce the 4 universal keys, those foundational truths that, when understood and applied, become your unwavering compass on the path to effortless flow. These are not just abstract concepts. They are active principles for harmonizing your 4 bodies and awakening your energy centers. The first key, time as a construct, directly addresses the alignment of your emotional and mental bodies. By understanding that linear time is a perception, not an absolute cage, you can liberate your emotional body from the heavy anchors of past regrets or traumas. You can free your mental body from the anxieties of an imagined future. This key invites you into the power of the present moment, the only place where true alignment can be found and cultivated. For indeed, alignment is an act of now. As you embrace this, a powerful affirmation arises. In the now eternal, I align and recreate. The second key, energy flows where attention goes, becomes a master tool for directing the very life force that animates your four bodies. It teaches you to consciously guide your mental fire and your emotional water. Where do you choose to place your focus? Is it on what drains you, or on what nourishes the bodies and centers that require your gentle care? Your focused attention is the sun that nurtures your alignment. This key empowers you to dissolve blockages and cultivate balance from within. Hold this truth. My focused attention is the sun that nurtures my alignment. The third key, the universe is within you, profoundly strengthens your spiritual and mental bodies. It shifts your entire orientation from seeking alignment or validation externally to recognizing that the source of all harmony, all creation, all reality resides within your own being. You align your inner microcosm, your personal world of thoughts, feelings, and energies. And in doing so, you begin to mirror the inherent harmony of the macrocosm that you already contain. You understand that your inner state commands your outer experience. Let this knowing resonate. Aligning my garden interior, I flourish in the universe. And the fourth key, the matrix cannot hold you if you refuse its rules, liberates your mental body from the often unseen shackles of limiting societal conditioning, and frees your emotional body from the fears that such conditioning can breed. This key is an invitation to profound authenticity. It empowers you to define your own inner rules, those that are in resonance with the truth of your aligned being, rather than unconsciously adhering to narratives that create dissonance. This is about reclaiming your energetic sovereignty. Feel this power. In sovereignty and alignment, I am the law of my being. You see, these four keys are far more than philosophical tenets. They are active, living principles, your trusted guides on this sacred journey of aligning with your deepest self and with the effortless flow of life itself. And here, as we weave these threads together, the understanding of our fourfold nature, the dance of the elements within us, the wisdom of our energy centers, and the empowering guidance of the four keys, we arrive at a most liberating revelation. Pause for a moment. Breathe into this space. The alignment protocol, this path to effortless flow we've been exploring, is not about adding another layer of complexity to your life. It is not another set of demanding tasks or rigid disciplines. Rather, it is a profound returning to the elegant simplicity of your original design, your inherent nature. This is our unfolding understanding. When you consciously recognize and honor your four bodies, your physical vessel, your emotional waters, your mental fire, and your spiritual breath. When you understand their elemental nature and seek their harmonious balance. When you consciously nurture your four centers of manifestation, allowing your life force to flow freely. And when you use the four universal keys as your compass and your guide, then alignment ceases to be something you chase. It becomes quite naturally your most authentic state of being. The effortless flow, then, is not a trick nor a mere technique. It is the inevitable, graceful outcome of this deep internal alignment. It is the music your soul yearns to play when all your inner instruments are perfectly tuned and resonating together. This is the shift from the exhausting paradigm of force to the empowering reality of grace. It's the gentle transition from constant struggle to intelligent permission, from resisting life to surrendering, wisely, to its deeper currents. Imagine a master sculptor standing before a block of raw marble. They do not force the form to emerge with brute, impatient blows. No, they study the stone. They feel its inherent veins. They listen to its silent story, its soul. Then, with touches that are both precise and reverent, aligned with the very nature of the material, they gently remove only what does not belong, revealing the breathtaking masterpiece that already resided within. The alignment protocol is this very process, the art of lovingly removing what obstructs your own inner masterpiece, allowing your true, radiant self to flow forth into the world. This power to align, this capacity to live in flow, is not something external to you, something you must acquire. It is your essence. It is your primordial inheritance, merely waiting to be remembered and reclaimed. Now, you might be wondering, how can I begin to cultivate this state of alignment in my everyday life, amidst all its demands and distractions? The beauty of the alignment protocol is that it begins with simple, intentional presence. I offer you one such practice, a daily breath of alignment, a brief yet potent ritual of autosyntonia, your sacred moment of realignment that you can weave into any part of your day. Find a comfortable position, close your eyes if you wish, and bring your awareness gently inward. First, let us anchor in earth, connecting with your physical body. Take a slow, deep breath in, feeling the solidity of the ground beneath you, the very presence of your body in this moment. As you exhale, consciously release any physical tension you might be holding. Feel yourself grounded, present. Next, we flow with water, tending to your emotional body. As you inhale again, gently acknowledge whatever emotions are present within you right now, without judgment, simply observing their current. As you exhale, consciously soften any resistance you might feel towards these emotions, allowing them to be and to move. Now, we clarify with fire, engaging your mental body. On your next inhalation, bring to mind a single, clear, positive intention for this moment, or for your day. It could be peace, clarity, or love. As you exhale, release any scattered thoughts, any mental clutter, allowing your intention to shine. Finally, we expand with air, connecting with your spiritual body. As you take another deep breath in, feel your connection to something larger than yourself. A sense of vastness, of peace, of purpose, of silent knowing. As you exhale, imagine this peaceful, expansive energy radiating from you out into your space. This entire ritual of the quadruple breath of alignment can take as little as 2 or 3 minutes. It is not about the duration, but the quality of your presence, the sincerity of your intention. Like a gardener who lovingly tends to their plants each day, this simple practice nurtures the roots of your alignment, allowing your inner being to flourish. And remember the wisdom of intelligent surrender. You are not surrendering your dreams or your desires. You are surrendering the unnecessary, exhausting struggle against yourself, against the natural unfolding. You align, and then you invite the universe, with its infinite wisdom and resources, to co-create with you. So, as we draw this exploration to a close for now, let this be your gentle reminder. The alignment of your 4 bodies, guided by the wisdom of the 4 universal keys, is your most direct portal to a life of effortless flow and authentic, soul-deep expression. The alignment we speak of is not a distant destination to be reached after arduous striving, but rather, it is the art of continually tuning the silent song of your soul to harmonize with the grand orchestra of the universe. Allow yourself to flow, for it is in this state of grace that your truest, most potent power resides. As you move forward from this moment into the unfolding of your day, perhaps carry this simple question with you. In which small action, in which subtle choice, can I choose alignment over force today? If this message, this sharing, has awakened something within you, or resonated with your journey, we invite you to express that by liking this video, subscribing to Mystic Sages for more journeys of discovery, and activating the notification bell so you don't miss our future transmissions. And in the comments below, we would be honored if you would share. Which of your 4 bodies do you feel most inspired to honor and nurture today as you cultivate more flow in your life? Your journey, your insights, are a guiding light for all of us in this shared exploration.